Peace, assalamu alaikum, namaste, jumbo, ashe, shalom, top of the morning, grand rising, good morning, I love you. All the greetings of love and light to the darkest minds of the light. I am Napashada. I hope everybody is having a wonderful morning, wonderful morning. Well, I just wanted to touch base with my wonderful, amazing audience. I love you so much. I really do. Um, you are important to me. And I just want to let you know some really good news that I found out doing my research. Just really getting ready to take some serious action, amping it up a little bit with these gang stalkers, letting them know that their time is over with the whole using a great place like social media where people come and meet and share ideas and do business and build relationships, a place where people connect. These very damaged sociopathic, psychopathic people, like the people at the Thunderdome nights, like the people who are stalking and lying, who use very serious issues like child abuse, very serious issues like financial scamming or taking advantage of people. They use these very serious issues to gang stalk and slander, and they weaponize movements that are actually supposed to be beneficial. So they go under the guise of helping, but they're not. We know they're not helpful. We know they're toxic. We know that they have seen that because they love to be destructive, they've seen that their slander can be effective if it's not countered. Usually people will say, just ignore it. And normal people like myself and Satnetter and other people who are on the internet, we ignore people who do certain things, but there is a time when you have to start addressing it with these gang stalkers who are very mentally ill, who are very dangerous people. They're very dangerous people in our society, not just online, but they're very dangerous people in our society. They go and they tell horrendous lies, and they keep pushing the lie until the lie sticks. So they will continue to repeat things like, house of consciousness is the house of PEDO, which is very, very serious accusation. But they keep saying it until normal people in society who are very caring, who know that it's serious, they start to say, is it? So we have to continue to fight against these people. They never have any proof whatsoever. They use propaganda, they twist very weak information, and they use the lies. They make things up quite all the time. And so I've been doing some research on the legal action, which I am taking legal action internationally, because they feel like also when they are in other countries like Japan and France, they feel like they are not touchable, which is because they're not very educated. They're very unintelligent. They're clever and manipulative because of their mental illness as the psychopathy, but they're not very intelligent people. They're pariahs in society. So they don't know the law. They don't care about the law. The law is completely irrelevant to them. That is why they continue with criminal behavior. And you will see, every time we come out and tell the truth and we warn people to stay away from them, it infuriates them, because what you're doing is taking their power away. If we were to go back and forth and use lies and hurl slander back at them, it would be what they want. What they don't want is for us to point out that they are psychopaths. They don't want us to empower you and tell you that you have legal recourse. You are living in a society with laws, an international society with laws. And with that said, I'm really excited to read this to you. I'm not looking in the chat, so if you're there, peace to all of you. I'm just going to read this article, and you're going to love this. You're going to love this, especially if you know that Thunderdome Nights is a real problem. They're very sick people, very dangerous sick people. You've seen the leader of Thunderdome Nights often threaten people's lives, often threaten to do. Once he threatened to send his sister, who's here in the States, to go um, grape a woman. He threatened Taz that he would have his sister go grape Taz's wife. And these are real threats. He says things like this often. How I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna KIL you. I'm gonna unalive you. Things like that we have to take seriously. Just as I said, we will. I want to honor also Imani Roberson. She just passed away. Her life was taken. A friend of ours. It's his daughter, a brother of the HOK Morpheus. They attacked Morpheus. They used the death of the beautiful daughter of this brother to gangstalk. And they're dangerous. Imani's sister said that Donnell Anderson, the husband who murdered, excuse me, I mean, I know this is YouTube, but I got to tell the truth, who unalived Imani, she said he's a sociopath, and she's 100% right. And my heart goes out to that family still. The energy is still going toward them with love and support. So I digress. Let's see what's going on in Japan. You'll be happy to hear this news. Okay, this is from 2022. Tokyo. This is an article I read in CNN, and I'm definitely already working on contacting the right authorities, the right path. It's taking about a couple days, and we'll find out. So, of course, when the sociopathic gang stalker leader of Thunderdome Nights hears this, he'll just say more slander, but that's okay. We don't care about that because we're strong. We're a community that's strong together. We're strong in person and we're strong online. We are not afraid of sociopaths. We do not let criminals take our lives over. We do not let bullies try to make our community into a wild Thunderdome. Not the law of the jungle. I love saying that. But George Bush says that. It used to infuriate me. But that was before I knew people like the Thunderdome Nights and like Forever Food, Miriam Diab, like these people who are on this internet, these psychopathic people, these toxic, dangerous people. I used to be upset when I would hear George Bush say, we're going to have a new law, a new world order, not the law of the jungle. I get it. We don't have the law of the jungle, family. We have a new black world order. Shout out to my brother King Shaw and Tasia Die Forever, another brother who lost his daughter to psychopathic, sociopathic people who say that they're conscious and in the community, but they are pariahs, they are stalkers, they are predators. The real predators will always try to stand with the ones who fight against predatory behavior. Let me say that again. The real predators will always try to stand with those who are truly fighting against predatory behavior. I got to say it one more time. When you have predators who are clever, I did a series called The Clever Pedophile. They are so clever. The first place they go to is activist groups that are fighting against the predatory behavior. Why? Because they're sheep. They're wolves who hide amongst the sheep. The first thing they do is put on the sheep's clothing. Oh, I'm here to fight all the predators. But they are the predators. They are the pedophiles. They are the murderers. They are the child abusers. They are the scammers. They are those people. They are the rapists. So remember that. They use anything to push their toxic, destructive agenda. And so let me finish reading this. So this is an article. Shout out to Japan. I'm so proud of Japan. And we need to keep on, because this is a community. We're building societies online. This is the 21st century. We're in a new age, post-pandemic. Everything's online. We have real societies, real communities online now. Japan's parliament on Monday, this is from 2022, passed legislation making online insults punishable by imprisonment amid rising public concern over cyberbullying. That's what the gangstalkers do. Cyberbullying sparked by the suicide of a reality television star who had faced social media abuse. Let me pause right there. See, this is what they want. Peace, Hybrid Cypher, and Tioga. This is what they want. You guys can hear me, right? Great. Okay. Yes, it's very sad. So I'm gonna again, I'm not in the chat, but everybody who comes in there, thank you for your comments. I love it, and people will see your comments and your input on the playback. So please participate. So cyberbullying, this is what the sociopathic stalkers online, the gang stalkers, anybody who you see saying HOK pedos, anyone you see saying lies with complete toxic lies, you know that these are sociopathic, dangerous people, and they're criminals. It's criminal behavior. So what they really want us to do is they want to destroy our business. They want to destroy our reputation. They want to see us unalive ourselves. That's what they want. So the people who gang stalked this poor young woman who didn't have a society, a group of people like us. Okay, she didn't have us. She didn't have this reality star. She didn't have a community that knows we're going to point you out and we're going to fight back. That unfortunately she had been gang stalked like I am gang stalked, and like Sonetter is gang stalked, and like a lot of people are suffering gang stalking. She unfortunately took her own life. And believe me, when people say, oh, just ignore it, you can't just ignore it after a while. So my heart goes out to her and her family, but it's very serious. These people are murderers. They are toxic. They are sociopathic. If you enjoy listening to their lies, they're not the Inquirer. They're not the Star, because see, the Star and Inquirer, they have to follow the law, and they do. They have to fact check, and they have to make sure that they don't get sued for libel when they print up information. But these people are criminals. They're rogue. They're just running wild. They don't follow any rules because they are sociopaths and because they have been damaged. They admit that they've been damaged. So let's read the rest of this article. Under the amendment to the country's penal code, set to take effect later this summer, this was in 2022, offenders convicted of online insults can be jailed for up to 1 year or fined 300,000 yen, that's about $2,200 US dollars. It's a significant increase from the existing punishments of detention for fewer than 30 days and a fine of up to 10,000 yen, which was $75. The bill proved controversial in the country, with opponents arguing that it could impede free speech and criticism of those in power. However, supporters said that the tougher legislation was needed to crack down on cyberbullying and online harassment. These are the people who, they don't want the law. They don't want the law to extend into social media, because right now they think that's a safe place. That's the Thunderdome. We don't know, no laws in the Thunderdome, y'all. Let's go inside the Thunderdome and start wreaking havoc. Let's kill some people. Let's tear some lives down. No, not the law of the jungle. It's no longer the law of the jungle. Okay, we're going to start regulating, not just with the judicial and the legislative system. We as a community, as people, are going to point you out and say, you are a sociopath, you're sick. Just like as if when you're walking down the street in the middle of the day in the city and some crazy person starts screaming in a woman's face, y'all know what I'm talking about. The street preachers who stand in the street and yell in people's faces and call women HOs and 304s. Those people are outcasts, and we don't accept that in our society, right? Well, just like online, we are going to point these people out and say, this is a sick person. You can't walk up to somebody and spit in their face. You can't walk up to someone and just snatch their purse and start rummaging through it and showing, hey, here's so-and-so's, here's this 304's ID. And you know what? She loves to sleep with animals. No, you would get arrested for that. And everyone in society in the group would look at you and go, wow, that guy's sick. That's what's going on online. No more. You don't get to, just because the HOK is successful, just because Sonetter is successful and he's been taking all the slander of the law of the law of the jungle, and I've been sitting back trying to ignore it. No longer. You are a pariah, and we will point you out. You're mentally ill. You're dangerous. You have the potential to take someone's life, and the proof is that you try to destroy lives online. So you're no different than Donnell Anderson, who unalived Amani Roberson. You're no different than these pariahs, these outcasts, these psychopathic predators in our community. You're no different. It was only, okay, so we got that part about, it was only passed after a provision was added ordering the law to be re-examined 3 years after it goes into effect to gauge its impact on freedom of expression. So we'll see if it's still going on now. Under Japan's penal code, insults are defined as publicly demeaning someone's social standing without referring to specific facts. Let me read that again. Publicly demeaning someone's social standing without referring to specific facts, not, oh, I heard that there was this girl, and I'd heard that, Polite did something, so, oh, this person is, no, not that. Because the leader of Thunderdome Nights was no problem being at HOK. Loved being over there, even did a video that I think he took it down, sympathizing and caping for Polite. Who remembers that? I do. I was looking, thinking, damn, I don't even do that. I stand strong, and neither does Sonetter. We do not make excuses. The leader of the Thunderdome Nights said, see, I'm not lying. People saw him say this. And people who didn't see it, if the video's still up, go look at it. I bet it's not up anymore. He said, maybe we don't know what happened. Maybe the girl, people are fast. Young women do things, they lie. That's what the leader of Thunderdome Nights said, y'all. I was like, damn, you're not an advocate for children. Anyone who advocates for children would never let that type of language come out of their mouth. You'll never, ever see me. I don't even have that in my program. I like to lean on the side of believing a child to a fault. That's where I stand as a child advocate and a woman's advocate, especially a child's advocate, though. I lean on the side of, okay, there's not even a question. This child, for whatever reason, is making this accusation, and I'm already believing it. So whatever pans out, I'm still looking at the child who made the accusation, because at the end of the day, the child made the accusation for some reason, and we must focus on the children. So it's always going to be coming out as true, but not the Thunderdome Nights leader. The Thunderdome Nights leader said, well, we can't always believe the girls, that terrible rhetoric about children being fast. He didn't use that language. He didn't use that specific word, but that was what he was implying. So we know that the Thunderdome Nights was over at the HOK, family. He was at the HOK debating. This is just a month ago. He even brought his Thunderdome flying monkeys over there. They were over there having a great time. The thing is, when they aren't allowed to, when they no longer can come on the platform because of their mental illness, because of the things that they do and say, when they no longer, when their mental illness completely shows, because now we know he's a sociopath, now we know he's dangerous, now we know we must distance ourselves to protect our lives. See, before people are like, well, why do you forgive? Because nothing's wrong with forgiving. But once we examined the mental state of this person, that's when we said no. Just like with Polite, never again will he be never again will you see Polite doing anything besides a jail interview, maybe for the HOK. Maybe. And that's maybe. Just like R. Kelly, just like what happened with Bill Cosby, just like if Dr. York needed to get an interview from jail, of course we would cover that. Just like when we brought Nature Boy on and roasted him and just incinerated him. Those are the things we do at the HOK. We do not sympathize with women abusers. We do not sympathize with child abusers. We do not sympathize with men abusers. Okay? You see, we took down the video of Princella. We needed to hear from her, though. We needed to show the family the madness. And then we show you that we're against it. That's called reporting. Now, anybody out there who's hurt, you can always see the ones who failed to really be make a positive impact on society. Let me tell you why. When you see they're no longer on the platform, you know that they're rejects. You know that they had to be outcasts. They're pariahs. We had to say, no, we have to keep these people away from our people and warn them. When you see Outhouse, the Cube is a pariah. He's on the outside. Shaka Dudu is a pariah. He's on the outside. Anyone who you see going hard and lying as a sociopath, it's because we figured out, okay, this person is toxic and sick. Now, sometimes it takes longer than other times because people like the leader of the Thunderdome Knights and people like Polite are very charming. I will let you know that these psychopaths, the Thunderdome Knights leader, he's a psychopath, and so is Polite. So they're very charming. You understand? They're people are drawn to them. Family, take notes. That's the dangerous part. People are drawn to psychopaths like him. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with people being drawn to you. People are drawn to Martin Luther King. People are drawn to Malcolm X, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Shahrazad Ali, beautiful, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Joy Degree. People are drawn to them. But then when you're drawn there, family, and then toxicity is poured into you, that's when you have to run. When you're drawn to charismatic people like Dr. York, and then they start feeding you toxicity like child abuse is okay. Let me show you, sodomy revisit. No, you're a psychopath. Thunderdome Knights. They say, oh, we want to teach you how to do the Torah. You get over there. Yeah, let me tell you about how I'm going to unalive this person. And I'm going to send my sister to grape you because she's right out of prison. And Nepal, she likes to be with animals. And so does Misunderstood. Oh, sorry. You may be charismatic, but you are the devil. And devil means liar. And it even says in scripture, it says, even Satan is an angel of light. Yeah, it seems like you're good, but once you draw us in with your charisma and you're charismatic, then you start pouring toxicity. I gotta go. Sorry, run. Family, please run. Because they'll fool all of us. Polite fooled everybody, but now we see you can never come around us again. You are a predator. You are in the same category, Mr. Thunderdome Knights. Yes, you're in the same category with Polite. Why? And don't forget, family. He's saying all this stuff about this and that, but he had someone living in his home. This is from his own mouth. We have the footage from his own public mouth that he had a man living in his home who liked to be a transvestite, but that he said he thought that he was a PEDO. He thought he was a Pedialyte. This is from the Thunderdome Knights leader's mouth. He said, this guy might be a pedo. The man was living in his house. Take several seats. Take several seats. Please, Thunderdome Knights, take several seats. We're not playing, not the law of the jungle. This is the real law. We are people who love people. We are people who promote goodness. We are people who fight against child abuse. We are people who fight against lies and scams. We don't steal from people. Nobody's stealing. And you say, well, Sonetta said you stole. No, he didn't. And if he did say that, he must have been really confused. And I think he did say that listen, you can try to use our family, and you can try to use our life to do your slander, but nobody steals over here. If my husband comes out and says, oh, my wife did this, and I say, oh, my husband did that, that's between us. We never, ever have said Sonetta steals from people. Napa steals from people, because we don't steal. So I like to address everything. I'm not going to sit here on this live stream and go, oh, and then so when they do their replay, they can say, oh, but didn't she steal? No, I didn't steal anything. I'm still with my husband. I'm still in the HOK. We're still fine. What we need to do is stop being real people in front of the camera. We need to be more careful with our relationship in front of the camera. That's if we're guilty of anything, we're guilty of being real people in front of the camera, because we have sociopaths who are coming after us, because there's nobody in the world who has not had relationship issues if they're in relationships. But see, we're saying, and yes, I love it. I can't tell too much of my business, but let's put it this way. We know how to work through mental issues, and we know how to work through emotional issues. We know how to work through relationship issues, which everyone in the world encounters relationship issues. Nobody, if they're sitting around saying, oh, well, I never have any problems, we know that's not true. So the only thing Sonetta and I are guilty of is sharing too much of our lives with the public. And for the ones who love us, we love you we love to share our lives with you. But for the ones who are pariahs and sociopaths who sit and pray for our downfall, we need to stop showing you so much of ourselves. We need to be careful. And it's sad because we like to share our lives with people. You know, when the whole concept of reality shows came out, when the whole concept of let people really see the real you, that was a great concept, and that's why it did so well, because it connects the audience more with you. When you see somebody in a reality show, you see everything that goes on in their relationship. You see everything that goes on in their lives. And one thing about Sonetta too, and one thing about Sonetta and me, we are very open and very loving with people. And that's not good though. It's good, but it's not good for this online sociopathic group being having access to us. So yeah, that's what I just want to point out. We don't steal. If anything, Sonetta is always giving. He's always giving. Always letting people have something, always giving people a voice, always giving people a platform so they can build their businesses up so they can make money, always doing things for free. Everybody's to the point where that's why I started telling him, no, Sonetta, we need to start reevaluating who gets to have access to you, because people who want to see harm come to you, you give them access to you. Stop doing it. People who have shown us, people who have done campaigns against Sonetta, campaigns against him, calling hospitals to try to to solidify a lie about Sonetter having a disease such as HIV. Let me talk to you about that. Do you know that HIV, that African Americans, Black Americans are leading in HIV infection still? And the group within the African Americans that's leading is Black women, Black heterosexual women. So if we know that we have such a devastation, that this disease is so devastating, why would anybody joke about someone having it, which Sonetter, thank God, does not have HIV? But you know, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to speak for Sonetter. If I had, Lord forbid, any type of disease, just like Sonetter shares about his lupus, if I had any disease that I know I can be an activist to help people, I would have no problem saying I have this disease and this is how I take care of myself, and we're gonna get rid of this stigma that's on. There are people listening right now who have HIV, and I love you. I have good friends. My friend Sandra, I love you, Sandra. She has been living with HIV for 30 years. Beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. So there are so many beautiful people who have HIV. How is that? How do you weaponize that? How do you weaponize child abuse, pedophilia? Oh, I know how, because you're a sociopath, because you're sick. But going back to the thing about the HIV, Sonetter doesn't have HIV. There's also a problem that we have with medical malpractice that is focused on people of color, especially Black people and elderly people. So the doctor told Sonetter, without even doing any blood work, oh, you have HIV. Brother Garfield said the same thing. He broke his arm. He was in the hospital with a broken arm. They didn't even do any blood work. Oh, you got HIV. I went to the doctor, and thank God that I am I know all about women's health care. I'm not going to keep on telling people what I do. I mean, some of the sociopaths want to speculate. Anything you feed to these monsters, they will use. So I go to the doctor, and he didn't even send me to do any diagnostics. He just did an intake, a new doctor. Oh, quote, my daughter was sitting there with me. He said, I'm sure you have uterine cancer. I started laughing, but then I looked at my daughter and she was tearing up and started to cry. That was damaging because she trusted him, but I already knew. I was like, how can you say you're sure I have uterine cancer? You haven't even done any diagnostics on me. That is what the doctors are doing. They are looking at a demographic. They're looking at a group of people. And then they're, unfortunately, not all doctors, but a lot of doctors, unfortunately, they're conducting malpractice. They're doing medical malpractice. So when Sonetter, because we like to share things with people, when he opened up and said, hey, I went to the doctor, I'm so sick, because he had his lupus was killing him. He didn't know. And he also was taking some herbs that Dr. Ink, well, he's not a doctor, Inky, the brother Inky, he's not a brother either, but Inky gave him some herbs, and they were killing him, literally killing him. And he went to 3 different places in New York in the emergency room. They just looked at him and said they never did any blood work. Finally, he went to a doctor, a specialist, because he wanted to know, okay, they're telling me I have HIV. He went to a specialist. They gave him the blood work for the first time, and then they said, you don't have HIV, but you do have lupus. You have lupus. Do you have any people in your family who have lupus? His sister passed away of lupus. And all this stuff about, oh, that's a woman's disease. That's another myth. Many women, yes, have shown up with lupus, but now more and more men are being diagnosed with lupus. Okay? Yes, there are diseases that more women than men attack women, but I mean attack certain groups, I should say, or plagued with certain diseases. However, especially if we're talking about chronic illness and autoimmune diseases, but you can't say, oh, rheumatoid arthritis is just women, lupus is just women. However, you will see a lot of autoimmune diseases manifest in women. Women get diagnosed, I should say. Let me say it that way. Women are diagnosed more. There you go. I shouldn't even say that they are attacked. Women are diagnosed more with autoimmune disease labels, like, oh yes, you've got lupus, oh you've got MS, oh you've got sarcoidosis. So more men are being diagnosed because there's another disparity. Like there's another thing about men. Men don't always get the best health care when it comes to being vigilant with them for themselves as well. They have a lot to do with it. A lot of men don't like going to the doctor. They don't like finding out what's going on. They're like, give me a Band-Aid and I'll take some cough syrup. No, you have to. So I digress. Anyway, so we like to share our lives. Sonetta shared that. And the sociopathic, destructive people ran with it. So let me just get to the part of the article. And I'm going to put the link. I think I put it in the description box, so you can read the whole article yourself. But let me talk about the woman who died in Japan. Hana Kimura's death. The issue of online harassment has gained prominence in the past few years, with growing calls for anti-cyberbullying and anti-gang stalking laws after the death of a professional wrestler and reality television star, Hana Kimura. Rest in power to Hana Kimura. Hana Kimura was only 22 years old. She was known for her role in the Netflix show Terrace House. She died by suicide in 2020. The news triggered grief and shock nationwide, with many pointing to online abuse that she had received from social media users in the months leading up to her death. Other cast members came forward to share their own experiences of online abuse, so they didn't just abuse her. Soon after her death, top Japanese officials addressed the danger of cyberbullying and pledged to speed up government to discussions on relevant legislation. Wow. So, her mother campaigned for stronger anti-cyberbullying laws. Yeah, this is serious. See, even the stuff I talked about, everything I'm talking about, family, they are sick. They are stalkers. They will take everything we say and they will go, and YouTube is going to have to be more responsible, because YouTube's going to make changes. It's just going to be a matter of time. You'll see. YouTube is going to be forced to make changes, just like YouTube had to make changes about child laws. With all the predatory behavior, all the predatory behavior that goes on YouTube. It was just all the clever pedolites, the files of pedo, they would come to YouTube to enjoy themselves. Let me say that again. I like to repeat things 3 times when it's very important. All of the file pedos would come to YouTube so they can get their satisfaction, because they knew this was a place that they could sit and enjoy themselves as sociopathic psychopaths, as destructive life takers. Let me say it again, though. All of the files of pedo would come to YouTube before YouTube made the child laws. Like it says, is this video for children? Before YouTube had that class action lawsuit against them, YouTube, you better listen up. Before YouTube had that class action lawsuit against them, all the files of pedo would come here. Watch people start saying files of pedo, and I like that. Go ahead. Just like when people start saying grape. All the files of pedo came to YouTube, and they got their satisfaction from being predatory on children. Now we have all of the sociopathic, psychopathic unalivers on YouTube getting their satisfaction by gang stalking, cyberbullying, slandering, lying, attacking people, So when you hear them replaying my video and they're doing their sick commentary, just do, if you are studying psychology, look at the mind of a psychopath. Look at the mind of a sociopath. Because you could say to yourself, why would you take her video and analyze it? Because a hit dog hollers. Can I get a hello? I love you, deep divers. These are, I'm not talking to my darkest minds, the light. I'm talking about the other channel, deep divers. But yeah. Why would they take my video and analyze it? Because a hit dog hollers. Shout out to Malcolm X, rest in power. A hit dog hollers. You are sociopathic. No, you can't say, oh, nobody is protecting, nobody's protecting Polite. Polite can't even protect Polite. Can I get a hello? I love that. Check. Polite can't even protect Polite anymore because his cover's been blown, and the leader of Thunderdome Nights cover's been blown. Shaka Doodoo's cover's been blown. I can't even name the whole toxic list of unalivers. Okay? Unalivers, gang stalkers, cyber bullies, mentally ill psychopaths. Why is your channel filled with lies and hatred of people? Because you're a sociopath. If you were a real teacher, you would do what I'm doing right here, is you'd show proof and you'd help the people. You wouldn't sit and lie. You wouldn't sit and say, and they're the house of the pedo. Where? Where is their file pedo? Where is their file pedos in HOK? There are no file pedos because we don't have any, because we bang on them. We get rid of them. We ostracize them. We warn the people. In fact, we just say, when I say bang, we don't do video after video because we're not mentally ill. Not the law of the jungle. We're not mentally ill. We say, this person did this. They will no longer be a part of our group. If y'all want to know what's going on with them in jail, we will let you know because we bring the news. If you wanted to know what was going on with Nature Boy, we brought it to you. And it was successful because it led to his incarceration. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We woke up Natiri. We even woke up a lot of those women who might have gone in there. And we put those, we were shining the spotlight on the degradation. We showed the authorities. Take a look at this guy closer. And also shout out to the T, who's really done an excellent job of keeping the spotlight on him. So just because you bring someone on your platform doesn't mean that you are aligned with what the sickness they do. In that case, I guess CNN, Oprah, Dr. Phil, who else is out there? All these talk shows. All of these shows that spot Tasha K, she covers everything. Nobody's accusing her of being a file pedo because they don't want anything from her, but they will let her. It's like the Walking Dead when they hear some sound and they go toward it. If they hear something from her that they think they want, they will work on destroying her because they're destructive. They are unalivers. Starts with an M. You know, herders, you get it. They're unalivers. They're toxic sociopaths. They have been damaged. They even admit they have never had any type of positive, significant positive, substantial positive reinforcement in their life as children or as adolescents or even as adults. And it's sad. You can get more love and see more promise for people on the streets. I'm talking about people who we call homeless, people who you can see more compassion and sanity from homeless drug addicts on the street sitting on the side of the road just trying to make it than you will find from these online sociopaths. But your days are numbered. No more. Not the law of the jungle, not the Thunderdome. This is a community of upstanding, law-abiding, loving, compassionate individuals and groups. People come online to put their ideas out, to learn, to teach, to connect, to build relationships of friendship and love. You can do all of that online. But what we're not going to do is allow pariahs, outcasts, predators to continue to thrive in our community. So thank you for listening. Please read the article. Please fight against gang stalking, cyberbullying. Please be aware of sociopathic behavior. If someone has a channel, I'm going to say this over and over, and their channel focuses on lies and slander and propaganda with absolutely zero proof, I'm not talking about edited videos and lies. If you don't see them doing real news to help a community, if you see them trying to tear down people who actually want to help the community, mark those people as the enemy and remove yourself from them. Why? Because I promise you, you will be next. If they set their sights on you, you will be next. Don't you see them turning against each other? You can't keep in a shark, and I love sharks, so this is just for the metaphor. Sharks are beautiful creatures, but I'm talking about the symbolic side and the metaphor. When sharks are in the womb, the great white sharks, do you know that the babies inside of the womb, they fight each other and they eat each other alive until there's only one remaining? This is real. That's what's going on. They can't even get along. They only band together for gang stalking because they see, we both have a common goal to destroy innocent people who have not done anything besides try to help the community. We don't like this because we are not allowed to sit and be in that community anymore. So we're going to tear it down. And make no mistake, I'm going to say this for the record. And yes, this is my opinion. The clever psychopaths, they don't just try to tear people down by getting on the internet. I'm talking about polite. They have their ways and their wishes to tear people down. If you see somebody who's always been there for you, polite, you see Sonetter has promoted your information. When I say been there, I'm talking about professionally. Everybody pause and stop trying to act like, when you see somebody's promoted you professionally and made you who you are professionally, you've always been a file pedo, but you just hid it very well. And then when Sonetter tried to point it out, everybody attacked him and called him a hater, and then he didn't want to believe it either. So he said, okay, maybe I was overdoing it. Maybe I am a hater, because he's saying that he's not that way. The child's saying that he's not that way. The mom's saying that he's not that way. I'm talking about the first time. Everybody, like you said, the child said, no, that's not going on. The mother said, no, that's not going on. He said, no, that's not going on. Why would anybody in their right mind continue forward? Especially when the authorities said there's nothing going on. They're not reporting anything. We don't see anything. Okay? So, like I said, Sonetter has done so much for everybody, including polite. And then he's going to sit back and keep his mouth closed and not come out and say officially, listen, leave Sonetter alone, because he knows Sonetter has nothing to do with him. Sonetter was not in Miami when anything was going on. Sonetter was in Miami months and months after. And nothing was said to him, which was very egregious, which was very unprofessional, which I have a problem, and I will speak about it, with polite. Why would you let somebody come around your ass and you have this kind of stuff going on in your life? Because you're a pariah, you're a psychopath, and you're a sociopath. And I'm so happy that you're getting ready to be locked away. I'm happy. I don't know if you're going to be in there long, but I know that you're going to be locked away and you're going to have that hanging over you as a sign, a mark. There he is. Run. Run, everybody. Here he comes. Who? The child molester. Oh, you think it's just polite? Run, everybody. Why? Here comes the leader of the Thunderdome Knights. He's a sociopath. He's also suspect. Stay away from them. Talking about no, I really am a child advocate. I really am against it. Let me show you. Let me show you. You're playing with children's lives. You think it's funny? Miriam Diab, Forever Food. Miriam Diab, you think it's funny to put a post up? And excuse me, please, if you're listening, Morpheus, or Morpheus's family, Amani's family, do not listen to what I'm about to say. And if you're very sensitive, please do not listen to what I'm about to say. You know, mute it out for like a minute or two, not a minute, maybe 30 seconds. Let me tell you what Miriam Diab thought it would be cute to put on one of her posts. She put the caption of HOK members profiting off of the, don't listen to this, anybody in the sister's family, because this is already it was so offensive. She put a caption, HOK profiting off of the corpse of Amani Robeson. Can you believe that? Just the feeling like inside of me when I even vocalize it. What kind of person? You got to be a vicious, filthy-hearted person. You got to be vicious. You have to have so much hatred, and you have to be so calloused and just no compassion to use that kind of language about a young woman who just passed away. I don't give a goddamn what you think what kind of excuse you're gonna use. Why would you use that kind of language? Why would you use that word? You're not a medical examiner. You're not working in the forensics division. You're not shit. Besides, a woman who has a profession, and you say your husband golfs with the mayor. Well, I'd love for them to see. We downloaded all your videos. We have the screenshots. We are going to make sure we get this to the right people. How dare you say that about her? You're evil. You're sick. I saw her in the chat of one of the other gang-stalking sociopaths. She said, family, listen to this. Now, this isn't about Imani. This is just, you can listen to this part. You know that Miriam Diab got up in the morning. She said, making breakfast and listening. Haha, this will be good. She woke up in her day, my loves. In her day to gang stalk. Not to listen about fighting against gang stalking, not to listen about how to be a better person, not to listen about how to really fight child abuse, because there are a lot of organizations that I'm a part of. You'll never know from the internet, people who want to contact me and I can vet you and find out if you really are serious about it. I can hook you up with these organizations. But no, this woman woke up out of her bed. Hopefully she washed her face. I doubt it. Some of them go straight to the internet. And she said, I'm making breakfast and listening to gang stalking, to lies. Anyway, I didn't want to make this too long. It's almost an hour. Peace to the family. Much love to all of you. Oh, I see you, Yakanan. I can't scroll back. Peace. I see you, sis. And anybody that I don't see that I can't go up for some reason. My phone is tripping. I think it's overheating. But I love all of you. Peace to all of you. Salaya, Benita, and anyone that I'm not looking. Yakanan, I'm glad to see you over here, brother. I want to say this to you. Please stay away from Thunderdome Nights. That when you first went over there, I'd like to believe that you went over there to learn, because I had gone over there to learn Torah. It's not Torah. You can learn Torah in very real environments. I say this also to the sister Hadassah. That's no longer Torah. It's Thunderdome, and it's sociopathic. And you know, Yakanan, they will attack any. No one is safe. They've attacked you. Oh, they'll attack. You get up there and voice your. When you got up there that time and you were saying the truth, you said, "But this is this," and they said, "Oh, you must be a file pedo too." Remember that? I don't know if they said that to you, but they said to somebody. So protect yourselves, protect your family. Of course not. And none of us would. And Benita, I love you so much. I've been praying for you. I haven't heard from you. You're on my mind. And everybody, polite can't. Let me see what Wayman. I can only see Wayman, Yakanan, Salaya, and Benita's these last comments. It says polite can't escape this one. It looks bad for him. Yes, and you know what? All praises to the unfathomable God. I do not. We weren't speaking much. Well, I wasn't speaking this much, though. I'm going to keep on speaking because we don't really have to. Do we have to? Does every video we do have to talk about that child abuser? Do we? No, we don't, right? We know what we do. We lock our doors. We pull our children closer to us. We tell our families, you see that guy you're standing next to? Yeah, what about him? I'm just checking my groceries. No. He is he's a chomo. What? Oh shit, thank you. Okay. Oh, and then hi, how are you doing? Don't say hi to me. That's how we're going to treat the Thunderdome nights. Yes, we are. I don't want to hear about, I don't have any accusations. I'm not talking about just being the file pedo. You have shown us that you are a unaliver. You have shown us that you like to attack people. You have shown us that you have no care for children. Yakanan, you're still in here. If you can, put a 1 in the chat. Were you present when this man said that guy was living in his house? There ain't no way. You talking about protect children? You can't even protect your own children. Work on your own house. And I love his children. This isn't on just in his children, but he has said things about my children. Like, I'm going to leave that alone. But yeah, no, Negro, you haven't left anything alone. You're a liar. Okay. Now, I feel for the people who put their children on the internet and show their children. That doesn't make the person a bad person, but you're not really thinking straight. Right? See, I know even before I started to do content, I don't put my babies on the internet because I protect them. I didn't even know about the gang stalkers and the real sociopaths, but just innately, let me say it again, innately, one more time, innately as a real paranoid mother, where people say, "Oh, you're overdoing it." Yes, thank you. Give me the overdoing it award. I want to be the Karen of child activism. I am an overdoer. I overdo it. That's why I told Shakadudu, and he tried to twist my words. I said, if you really are doing activism against child abuse and you know there's such dangerous people, you would never pick your child up. And I said, he could have put her on his shoulders, but he would always pick her up and put her up on the lap in front of him. I didn't even think anything pervy about that. I said, why do you always pick her up and put her on your lap in front of in front of the camera? Now, if he would pick her up and put her on his shoulders, I would have said, why do you always pick her up and put her on your shoulders in front of the camera? My point is, if you really know about the dangers, you would protect your own first. Can I get a hello? I'm sorry, I'm stealing from Deep Divers. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, thank you. Thank you so much, Hybrid Cypher. Peace, Sakina Ra. All right. For some reason, I can't scroll up. So to the people who've been in here showing love, I love you. And please, it's us, all of you. You have the same power that I have. I may be on the internet, in the forefront, but you are strong. You are powerful. Let's police our community. You have the power. You are the judge. those of you who are sane, who are not sociopathic, who are for peace, who are for community, please govern this. Oh no, 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 my brother. You're still, you know what, Yakanan? My heart goes out to you because you're still you're where I was and where Sonetta was about 2 months ago. We're done, brother. I don't want you to go through what we went through. I do not want you to go through what we went through. I need you to protect yourself. And I thank you for your compassion. We thought the same as you. No, our eyes are open. We must protect ourselves. We first have to protect our soul child before on the plane, what do they say? Okay, the oxygen mask will come down. If you have a person that you have to assist or a small child, please put the mask on yourself first. Because how are you going to help somebody else when you can't even help yourself? Before we are activists for the children, before we are activists for the women and the men who are abused as well, we have a boy crisis. Men are being attacked. Okay, men are not even allowed. Now we have women trying to say that a naturally occurring hormone, testosterone, which occurs in male and female, that it's some kind of negative, poisonous, psycho, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde potion. No, it's testosterone. And it is very important because it helps men protect. It makes men strong. It makes them have strong leadership positions. Of course, there are sociopaths like Donnell Anderson and the leader of Thunderdome Knights and Shaka Dudu. Of course, there are people out there who have testosterone, but the testosterone isn't the problem. It's that they have been insecurely attached, neglected, abused. Seriously abused. Seriously abused. I mean, some serious abuse has taken place. So that's why they're the way they are. It's not because they're men. I love men and women. So peace to you. I'm going to say my prayer. Peace to you, Sonetter. Much love to the king. Yes. And so Yakanan, protect yourself. I don't want you to end up like us. I really mean that. I'm not being funny. It's just a matter of time, my friend. Peace, sister. Peace, Sakina Ra. Much love to you. All right, family. Have a great day. Enjoy your life. Get some fresh air. I mean, as fresh as it can be. And, move around. I found out something, too. This is off topic, but I was thinking about this while I was walking and I was exercising. When we move, we live. When we sit and don't do anything, we're dying. You know how the rigor mortis sets in when you don't move. So when you move, when you get up and move, you're alive. You can feel the so-called juices flowing, get the blood flowing, oxygen moving through the blood. That is why aerobics are so important. That breath of life moving through your blood. And the more you move, the more you breathe. So you're bringing in that oxygen, and it's just running through that blood, getting everything just not hydrated, but everything flowing. And also drink water, get that the water of life. So just move. It feels so good to move. You'll feel better when you move. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you. Pump life into your heart. Yes, y'all are so awesome. I love the darkest minds of the light. Peace to you. Protect yourself. Stay away from these sociopaths. They will gang stalk. They are very clever. Remember, I said I got to bring my YouTube canceled my Phineas the Zealot channel. It had some true. It was the series, The Clever Pedophile. I think I have one. They are clever, and it's not just about file pedos. Let me tell you. File pedos are about control. Grape is about control. Yes, they get a lot of sexual satisfaction. It's sick. It's deviant sexual behavior. But the first part is the control, family. That's what gives them the rush and turns them on sexually, is the control and the violation. Let me say that again. It's the control and the violation. Knowing that you're destroying. Oh my God, please hear me out. They know that they were destroyed, okay, when they were children. They know that they were destroyed. And there's a side of them that they want to also destroy. They can't get to their real, the perpetrator. They can't go to the one who did the, like, Polite. I know he never met Dr. York, but just let's do hypothetical. Polite, if Dr. York did that to Polite, now Polite does it, he can't get to Dr. York. So he does the destruction on children and other people, not just children. He manipulated Sonetter. He manipulates his wives. He manipulates his business partners. He is a sociopathic psychopath. Make no mistake. And Thunderdome Nights is right alongside. Guess what? Congratulations. You are just like the most infamous ones we know. You're just like Dr. York, Thunderdome Night Leader. You're just like Polite, Thunderdome Night Leader, because you manipulate people so you can destroy lives. I'll leave you with that. Peace to the darkest minds of the light. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.